Hello and welcome. It's near the end of 2021. Before the holidays, I wanted to quickly make and upload a YouTube video. This video will be a sample showcasing of the givemhell's Diablo II Resurrected client-side visual mod pack, made to be compatible for single player and BattleNet multiplayer. In this sample of the visual mod pack, I'll be showing 7 features. The major feature is a simple loot filter made for new players. Low level potions will be hidden for the purpose of this video. Mid and end game filters will be available soon. Items are sorted by tiers 1, 2, and 3, followed by an item icon. So on this shield we have the shield icon, and then the name of the item. There may be a plus sign in front of a superior version of the item, like if it had an extra enhanced damage on a sword, or if an item had enhanced defense on an armor or a shield. Item names will show the default colors for normal, magical, rare, unique, and set items, and rune words as well. Some items like amulets and charms will have different color suffixes in the name. For example, on this charm here, we have a darkish grayish color, which would indicate that the item level can be 1 through 9. If the color of the crimson was purple, it would indicate that it would be like item level 50 through 69, and then red would refer it to be an item level 90 through 100. You might be asking, why does this matter? It matters because it visually helps you when gathering items to do crafting recipes on gloves, belts, and charms, or when deciding if you should use the Lazark quest in Act 5 to socket an item. The second feature in this showcase will be the glowing ruins. I believe we have L through Ral being normal, being the lowest ruins in the tier set of ruins. Throw through, I believe it is Soul. Oh, it looks like up to Hell here, being blue, so it's a little bit of a higher tier, still on the low end scale. And then we have a little bit of a higher end of the mid tier ruins here. It'd be Ko through Ist, and then everything that would be like a high ruin, Vex through Zod, is going to be a little bit more of a reddish color, as you can see here in my Heart of the Oak flail. So we got the Thrall, which is a blue color, Ko, which is orange, and then Pole is a valuable mid ruin, so pretty much everything that's pull through Ist is probably going to be slightly closer to an orangish yellow color, and then everything Vex through Zod is going to be a red color. And then the purpose of coloring them is so that you can sort them easier in your inventory, and the other part of the feature is that when you drop a ruin, you're going to see a pillar of light and then a little bit of a flash to help indicate that a ruin dropped, and the pillar of light will stay there. So if you're, you know, fighting mobs around Act 1 through 5, or even in the cows, um, and there's just so many cows, and you might be going really fast in a party and you may not see it drop right away, but you might die, or you might come across it again by walking around a corner, and you'll see a pillar of light and you'll be like, ooh, what's that? And then you'll visually see that it is a decent ruin. Each ruin is going to be a little bit different, so anything that's L through, let's say Hell, is all going to have this orange text, and then everything that's Co Plus is going to have the red text indicating that it's got a little bit more value. These colors of text may change over time, just to help indicate high ruins a little bit better. Um, we're also thinking of adding special sound effects, possibly some slot machines for the high ruins to go cha-ching or doom, 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 777, cha-ching, and hear a bunch of coins falling. You might hear like gold falling. And then the third feature on this list is the minimalistic pictograms. This provides us better holographic icons for potions, scrolls, and gold. So I'll get you a couple examples here. So I'm just going to throw some gold on the floor. So here we have the text for the number, and then we have the icon of gold. Same thing with potions. Instead of having a big long name that says full potion or minor potion, it's just a simple tier number of the potion because there's 5 tiers of potions. And then we have the icon to help
Greetings.
visually see potions. That way we're not looking at big names. Really handy when you're doing bail runs and there's 20 potions on the floor and you can't see anything. Um, so not only do these pictograms show up on the floor and your inventory, they show in the shop as well. As you can see here, we got a yellow potion for the thawing potion, uh, kind of a grayish icon for the antidote, wait for stamina. And then we got the same thing for the tomes. I'll quickly go over here to this corner of the game.
Greetings.
And then here's just more of those suffixes that I was talking about. So we have a great axe. It's a normal item, so we have the white text. And then for the suffix, we have lords, which would indicate that, this is going to be somewhere between item level 25 through 45. Just a rough example. And then anything in this magical blue color is going to indicate possibly about item level 1 through 9 or 10 through 19. Um, Colors kind of vary based on the item tiers themselves. And if you were to re-roll a charm, the tier would change, but at least you would know what item level it um, currently has at that time. And then a Hellfire Torch is going to be red because it is considered like, even though it requires level 75, it would be roughly about item level 95 or higher, from my understanding. I could be wrong. So we'll just use that as a rough draft. And then we have the fourth feature, which is the Diablo II Resurrected ESP. Provided us some more icons similar to the minimalistic pictograms that I was just showing you. And for the item names, so when we had the items names, we have the ruin icons for ruins. That's part of the ESP part. And then, let's see here. It also included the item drop special graphic effect. So, we got the Pillar of the Light and the little flash there. That was also part of the ESP. Nothing special about Ruin Words so far. Same thing for set items, as you can clearly see. However, for gems, we do have this little bit of a glow here And the glitter, that's the major part of the ESP, is to make everything glow and glitter. Um, Similar stuff will be added possibly to the higher tier set and unique items. We're trying to avoid having it for every unique because we want to make it easier for players to grab the gems and to be able to see them on the ground when you're doing cow runs or any other party fast-paced runs. And similar for skulls. And as you can see for the skulls, we have the special effect with the little smoke and skulls there. Forget what it's called. And then another visual feature is the characters. They look like they have a full set on. It just makes them help glow in dark rooms and to make your character look nice even though you don't have a full set on. And then our fifth feature here is the cube recipe list. So in the Ressurected cube, we have the socket, repair, rune upgrades, item upgrades from normal to exceptional, exceptional to elite. Um, Basically, this helps eliminate having to tab out of the game and research recipes all the time. It's just very handy and quick to just a quick reference altogether. And then our sixth feature, normally you wouldn't think it's very important, but it does help visually. It is our better potion visibility feature. So some of the small, medium, large, and full-sized potions, the icons visually change. I don't have much of a reference here, but basically a minor potion is going to be a small potion, and then the medium size is just going to have one stripe instead of 2 or 3 stripes. And then eventually here, I don't know why it's not enabled. I must have forgot to enable it. But it's going to change this potion icon being tier 5. It's going to change this into a potion that looks closer to a full rejuvenation potion, which is just that big round potion. And then it's kind of hard to tell between the tier 3 and 4 potions because of the stripes. So we just have the tier 3 with 1 stripe, then tier 4 with all 3 stripes. And we skip the potion icon that originally just had the 2 stripes. So that was the whole purpose of that. Just to kind of see your potions a little bit easier in your inventory. Just to kind of help you determine, what type of potions you have in your inventory. Very helpful when you're on hardcore mode, so you don't die thinking you had a nice big potion and realistically you had pretty much a tier 2 potion. Lastly, we have the Assassin and Amazon Retouch. Simple visual upgrade of the face and body of the 2 characters. Nothing major for a difference, just, small facial and body touch-ups, more or less. Alright, well, let's do a little bit of a gameplay in action so you can kind of see how things drop and fall into place. So I'm going to start in Act 5 here. Sorry if the game volume's a little bit too loud. But yeah, as you can see there, charms have the Pillar of Light glowing effect, the full set glow effect to kind of, you know, make it visually easier to see right away that it's a charm or, you know, some mid-tier valuable item that we're going to want to pick up. Now we made charms more of a blizzard blue rather than a magical blue so that it's visually easier to see amongst all of the other magical items. Looks like we have an extra magical blue here. Very nice. Yeah, so for the sample here of this video mod pack, we're showing all tier 1 through 3 items, 1, 2, and 3.
I can't carry any.
In the future, we're not going to have most of the tier 1 and 2 items. We'll have, you know, tier 2 battle belts and, you know, battle boots and battle gauntlets and some other gilded shield and Shaco items. More or less, there's a lot of tier 1 items that drop that have no value, even though they could be a unique. And then, of course, we'll be able to filter out all the tier 2 blades and cleavers that don't really turn into anything. We can remove some of the tier 2 unique and set items that don't really have much value. So, you know, we might have a pair of chance guards versus mage fist. You know, if you're doing like a end of season, end game, you know, your stash is full type of thing all the time, and you just don't want junk, we might, you know, filter out chance guard gloves, but keep mage fist, or vice versa. Or we might even start hiding gold wrap battle belts and just do the tier 3 version of a belt. Just, you know, multiple examples. We won't be able to filter out set item emulets because we don't know if it's going to drop as like a low level set amulet or a Tall Russia's high end set amulet. And the same thing for like unique rings, but they're not, you know, very common drops, so it's not like a huge deal. And good example here for the charms, you know, it'll be a charm. Won't really know what the item level is, but then once you identify it, that suffix for stout is going to be a magical blue, which is indicating that it's going to be under level 20. And then there's items like this. You know, if we were on a new player or mid-game filter, we would show this, but if we were doing like an end-game filter, this is a type of item that we might hide. And just basically, because even if like you use the ruin recipe to upgrade this to a tier 3, it still wouldn't hold much value. And the same thing with most of these spirit masks. Anything that's like Druid Barbarian related, anything that's tier 1 is usually going to have a lower end defense. So even if you have like +1 to Druid skills, it's still going to have a low defense, which normally isn't a big deal, but it also indicates that it's going to be more of a beginner low level item. Versus a tier 3 helmet is probably going to have like +2 to skills you know, specifically Druid or Paladin, Sorceress, Barbarian, and then it'll probably have something like 20% increased faster cast rate. So that's why all the tiers are a little bit different. The higher the tier, the more possible stats and number of percentage and raw skill that it can be. And then instead of having, like, you know, right here a bunch of potions, like full mana potion, full rejuvenation potion, this is, you know, or blah 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 X number of gold. You know, it's a lot easier just to have the number and an icon to know it's gold. And then you can filter that out between all the text of all these white items too. Now, a tier 2 version is going to have, you know, a medium amount of smite damage for paladins, probably like a lower end of all resist, versus a tier 3, you might see, you know, 40 plus all resistance instead of 8, and then your smite damage would probably be like 125 to 150. Just a rough example. Oh, that was huge. There is no secret cow level. It's all in your mind. Works like. If you're doing fast cows and parties, it's nice to have big text like this, because it is definitely a lot easier to grab than all the other items. And then that way you can't simply forget to grab it, because it blows up in your screen.
Good evening.
Someday when I'm rich, I'll get this socketed with the increased attack speed. And then our life potions and mana potions would look a little bit more like this for the better potion visibility feature as we get into working. Excuse the random spam there. There's automated macro bots that are constantly spamming the chat. Sometimes it breaks and leaks into the game. Hey, how'd I die? He didn't hit me. Well, that's not cool. Oh, they even sucked all my gold. How dare they? Well, if you would stop casting. This is a terrible YouTube video. You guys are probably like laughing. I can't wait to see the comments. Oh, that's a good base there. High level requirement though.
Good morning.
There we go. See? So easy to see ruins and pick them up right away. We have a tier 1 circlet. Probably max that we would see is +1 to a specific sorceress skill, or a series of skill, like a category of like fire, cold, or light. Same thing for like the set item. If it was tier 2 or 3, it'd probably be Tall Russia's Death Mask. Being tier 1, we're already gonna know it's gonna be a Cathedral's. Yeah, Catherine's Visage. I don't know why I said Cathedrals. All spaced out. You don't have a spam of full health potion, full health potion, full health potion, gold, gold, stamina potion, antidote potion, you know. It's just a nice little icon. You can see that it's an actual potion. You can tell if it's a health or a mana potion right away. This here is one of the older potions that I was talking to you about. It's going to have the same 3 stripes, but it's going to be white instead of a gold. And that's the whole reason of the better potion visibility, is to make these into that. And then to have that is like this, and then just take this out of the game. Because it's so hard to tell, for the most part, right away, if, you know, what potion this is, and you know, it's just better to just do it by stripes. So we just kind of remove this from the game, because it's like a 200 health difference, and you know, that's pretty huge on hardcore. Magic finds 213. Ideally, you would want, you know, 250 plus to start seeing some of these whites turn more into blues, and then more blues into yellows, and then yellows into uniques. You know, I would like to start seeing more yellows, especially like on helmets, helmets, to basically do more crafting. If you're not sure what crafting is in this game, I would definitely recommend looking up a crafting video. It's basically like you take a item with a ruin and a gem, and you turn it in. You basically re-roll the item. Most of the times it can be specific stat, like life leech on a pair of gloves, and it'll roll some other random stats. Prime example here. See, tier 1 is going to have a +1 to a specific skill. If it was tier 2 or 3, on a tier 2 you might see 1 to all fire skills, and then on a tier 3 you would probably see 1 to all fire skills and then faster cast rating. Tier 3 is a vortex shield. Of course, we don't have a plus sign, we have a minus sign. This is indicating that it is a superior version, which has the enhanced damage. Really good for smite builds. Some people prefer more defense, some people prefer damage. Really just depends on the player. Lifesteal, high end, so no plus skills yet. Dark colored or scythe, so right away we're gonna know that it's either ethereal or, ethereal, otherwise socketed, and it is socketed.
I need a key.
Probably gonna have like +1 to Amazon skills, maybe some attack damage, and we got 4 sockets. Wow. The superior was the 2 attack rating. That is like, that's terrible. Absolutely terrible. See, so easy to detect gems. Then we got, scrolls, easy to see.
I need a key.
We also got spam that gets eliminated very quick too. We also have another feature that I don't have turned on currently, but it would hide chat. It's like an optional feature. Kind of handy if you're playing on hardcore and don't want to be disturbed. Tier 3 spear. This kind of sounds promising. It's dark, so it's got to be socketed. It'd be a really good base item for a rune word. Of course, it's only 1 socket. And see, I saw the green icon and the glow effect, and I was like, oh, what do you know? There's a gem on the floor. See, in the beginning of the video, I told you something like that's gonna happen, and it happened. It didn't happen for a ruin, but it did for a gem, which you could trade for a ruin. Alright. So, yeah, there's a lot of nice little features here. Hopefully we'll have more features for the next video coming sometime in 2022. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was a little bit long. And hope you guys enjoy your holiday. Stay warm
Good
for
day.
some of you in some of those states and countries where it's snowing. But yeah, like you see in the vendors, like tier 1, it's gonna have specifics. Anything that's gonna be tier 2 is gonna have like a skill tree. And then you got your suffix for sapphire indicating, you know, level 50 plus for item level. Not really much for tier 2 here. Is higher end of the tier 1, so we do have the +2 to fire skills, so that would be like a lower end tier 2 kind of deal, but then there's not really much else to go with it besides just the base skills, like there's no faster cast rating or anything like that. And then as far as the ESP feature, forgot to show you, the skill tree is going to have colored skills, which also show up in here as well to kind of help filter. Oh, you know, I got, let's see here, good example, Holy Fire, Holy Freeze, and Holy Lightning. You know, the colors are going to indicate a type of element. Well, again, stay warm and have a good rest of your 2021. Happy holidays again, and we're going to have a lot more features coming here soon in 2022, especially with the new Diablo II Resurrected patch 2.4 coming out with some more character changes and new ruin words. And like I said, we'll have 2 new additional filters for mid and end game players to kind of help, you know, make things quicker. Of course, in this video, I was just playing by myself. There was no um, bo bonus effects of having like 2 through 8 players. You know, if there was like a second player, we would have probably seen about 35% more loot. 8 players, we would have seen at least close, but not a total double loot. We would be seeing about 92% more loot from the table of mob item drops because they have a percentage. You know, when you're just one player, there's a 65% chance that mobs won't drop an item, versus if you had 8 players, there's only like maybe a 5 or 6% chance of a mob not dropping an item. So, you know, when you have twice the amount of drops and then you filter in your magic find um, throughout the entire party as well for whoever kills the mobs. You know, just a lot more items, a lot more potions. You know, a full 8-man party, you would have seen, you know, 2 or 3 times the amount of potions and keys drop in, bolts and arrows. For this video, we had bolts and arrows hidden, so you couldn't see them on the floor, but I did see quite a few of those drop. Just tons of those on an 8-player game. That's the whole purpose of this visual mod, is to help filter out some of the items and to visually um, help ensure that you don't forget any items on the floor. Like I've seen some players where there was a high ruin drop on the floor, and either they were too new to know what the value of the item or ruin was, or they just didn't see it. So having these extra visual effects definitely helps, and just having less trash on the screen just helps you move quicker in the game, farm faster. Um, it really does. It just helps you move so fast that, you don't have to look at a bunch of potions and be like, all right, where's the good item at? You'll just see a color pop up on the screen. You'll be like, oh, it's right there. And then, of course, if you are colorblind, there is an option in the game for colorblind mode that you can calibrate, and that will also make the game easier. Alright, well, thanks again for watching, and we will see you soon. Bye.